Hello guys, welcome back to Frankie Off Grid, or if you're new here, hello, welcome. We are Carissa and Iwan, and back in 2020 we left beautiful North Wales and moved here to central Portugal, where we bought an old stone house and 1.5 acres of land that we're hoping to turn into a beautiful thriving homestead that can feed us throughout the year, whether that's veggies from our garden, eggs from our flock of chickens, or we've also can make our own olive oil and wine, as we have 100 olive trees and over 70 grapevines. Oh, the sun is really coming out today. We've just had rain all this morning. The winters here are really lovely when the sun comes out. It's one of the reasons we moved here, is the 300 days of sunshine. So firstly, I wanted to wish you all a very happy new year. I hope 2024 will be fantastic for you. We're really excited for the year ahead. We have lots of plans. I know New Year's resolutions are not everyone's cup of tea, but I actually really love this time of year. I love the feeling of a blank slate that we can kind of put all our dreams and ideas and goals into and rethink about them. One of my big goals is the garden, and this last year we did have some success with it feeding us, especially a big glut of courgettes, but it's not quite the garden of my dreams that I had planned, and this is the year I would really like to focus on it. One of my resolutions last year was to grow all the vegetables for our Christmas dinner for this year, and my success was zero. I didn't grow anything based on a few factors of just not planting at the right time, or the chickens attacking the Brussels sprouts. These resolutions that we set tend to have a habit of unravelling by the end of January. So this year I'm recommitting to that resolution, and I'm hoping that with a bit more planning that I can have the garden feeding us every day, not just Christmas Day. Chicken! So I've spent a few days designing a layout for the garden and making a list of all the foods that we tend to eat the most, so that I can focus my energy towards them. Of course, I'm still going to grow lots of flowers and just vegetables that kind of interest me, but I really want to focus on the foods that we do actually eat. The garden I'm starting with now is a bit of a mess, so I have spent the last few days of December tidying that up and planning what the next steps are. So yeah, that's what this video is about, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'm so excited to share throughout the year as the garden develops, and I'm putting this out there so you can all hold me accountable. So I'm working on a new garden bed just here, and I really want to add a little bit of raised bed element to the beds here, just a plank or so high to hold in the compost that I'm adding and define the paths better. We went to the shops yesterday and just the price of wood is crazy. It's going to be so expensive to do it. So I've been doing some research, and I really want to try and use materials that we've got, all the branches from the trees we've been pruning, and see if I can create almost like a woven border around them. So that's what I'm going to try and do today. got here some branches from the olive trees we've pruned. I'm going to do these as stakes to start the wall. So I'm trying a few different materials to do the weave with. We've got lots of wild vines that I'm currently cutting back, and then soon Iwan will be doing all the vines, so hopefully that will work really well because we always have a lot of vine material. This is the quince trees. They have these beautiful straight shooters going up, and there seems to be a little bit of flexibility in it when they're young, when they're fresh, sorry. So I'm going to try that. And then we've also got a lot of olive. Also, we have so much mimosa growing. It's an invasive species, so we want to get rid of it. And I know that this type of mimosa we have is known as a wattle in Australia, and the weaving method that I'm doing is called wattle. So I'm wondering if there's a link between the reason it's called wattle and whether it's a good material for doing that. So I'm going to try them as well. I need to make sure that especially the mimosa isn't touching the soil and doesn't root, because that would be problematic. So I have got some vines that I cut months ago, so I'll put them at the very bottom base and then experiment with these and see which works best. So this is how it's looking. I'm really happy with it. One of the videos I watched, he sort of did 4 one side and 4 the other side and alternated that rather than one each. I think he said it looks a lot tidier. So the bottom is the old vine that's been cut for a few months, and that worked an absolute treat, and the vines are really long, so most of them go the full length. Then I've done the quince, also worked an absolute treat, and then I just did a bit with the olives, and they're a bit too short and they take a lot of cleaning to get all the leaves off because they keep their leaves all year. I'm going to use the freshly cut vine next, and then I'll try the mimosa and we'll see what it looks like. It's not a box for you, Albi. I've deconstructed this box and Albi's already inside it. You're a crazy cat. You fancy a dog walk? Why not, yeah. I'd rather river. So I planted all these potatoes in September as sort of an experiment that I forgot I had done. So I just realised last night that they would probably be ready. I remember seeing some growth from them and then the cold killed that back. So it's not been a very successful experiment other than we've got some lovely potatoes to eat. Lots of really tiny ones. I think I'll do the same next year, but I would do them in buckets so that I can protect them a bit more and just do a small batch. I had originally done it, I remember now, so that we'd have potatoes for Christmas dinner. This is why you should keep notes.
It's a bit cold and soggy here today, so I've come into the cabin, got the heater on nice and cosy. I'll be sleeping on the bed behind me, and I'm going to make a garden plan. I've been watching a lot of Hugh Richards videos on YouTube. I'll link them below. They've been really helpful and I've been really inspired by one about planning the garden. So I've got lots of pen and paper and a nice warm coffee. I think that was one of the challenges I faced this year, was just kind of not really having a plan, knowing when things would be sown and when they'd be ready to harvest. As an illustrator, I have a lot of drawing materials. So I took a screen grab of the garden guide that Hugh created on his video. He started with the goals and the layout of the garden. So this is my inspiration. Thanks, Hugh.
So this is where I've got up to with the plan. I've got what's south-facing, and I'm trying to create some shade here, for example with the peas. It's been really helpful to make this plan. I've also been making a lot of notes so that I kind of know loosely when to plant things, and this really helped if I was looking at, say, like the companion plants, which bed to put things in, or what to avoid putting together. I am also putting all this stuff together on my website. I've got like a garden notes section. I've shared many times before that my website is built with Squarespace, who are kindly sponsoring today's video again. I'll tell you a little bit more about them in case you're interested in building your own site, and I'll kind of show you what I've got going on mine as well, what you might find helpful in terms of like garden notes. So if you don't know who Squarespace is, then they're an all-in-one platform to help you build a beautiful website, and I find them really easy and intuitive to use. I've been slowly building up a site for my illustration work called Calm Lines, and it's on here that I've also added a new section called Garden Notes, so that I can share with you guys more each month what I'm learning, and just as a record for what I'm planting in the garden. So I've added a page for each month, and then I'll be adding a page for each vegetable or fruit, and adding into that when to sow, when to harvest, how long it is till harvest, what the companion plants are, what to avoid planting together. So hopefully that's really useful for you guys and quite easy to navigate throughout the site. And it's been really easy to just add those links. You just click on this little icon and then you find the page that you've created, and then that immediately creates a link. I've also been using their free stock photos from Unsplash to make the site all the more beautiful, because I don't currently have a stock of photos, but I would like to over time add photos from my actual garden. But for now it's been really nice to just have these beautiful professional looking photos. If you've got no design skills, then do not worry, because you can choose from one of the hundreds of award-winning templates that give your site a good foundation to build up from, and in no time at all you'll have a beautiful and professional looking site, even if you have no design or photography skills. All you'll need to do is go in and take time to add the content, whether that's sharing about your passions like gardening, or you can also build your own online business and add things like a shop with their commerce feature. I think nowadays having a presence online, especially if you're wanting to be entrepreneurial and create a business and earn some money, then having a website is a very important element of that, and I would highly recommend using Squarespace for their simplicity. If you do feel inspired to create a site, then you'll find a link to squarespace.com in the description below, which you can head to for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch you can save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain by going to squarespace.com/FrankieOffGrid. So I'm making an egg and potato salad solely from things that are grown on the land, or the eggs from our chickens, and I'm also going to make our mayonnaise. I made some the other day and it's actually really easy. I did it with 2 eggs and that was quite a lot, so I'm going to try just 1 egg, see if it works on a smaller scale. So I've got here olive oil from 2022. Last time I used our freshest olive oil, but it has a really strong flavour, and just before olive harvest we were starting to run out of olive oil, and Nick and Andrew really kindly gave us this 5 litres of oil. We actually haven't touched this one yet, but the older the oil, the less intense the flavour is, so I'm going to try this. This stuff is gold to all of us, so really grateful to them for giving us this much. So yeah, you can go check them out, but that's the oil I'm going to use for the mayonnaise. What I've ended up with is a broken mayo, I think, because I only used 1 egg. I don't know, last time it just worked perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a new egg in here, and I've transferred the broken one to here, and then I'm going to really slowly add it to this egg as if I was making the mayo again, and hopefully that should work. So it's definitely emulsified, but at this time it's a little bit runny. So it's worked a bit better. I think I may have also added too much vinegar or lemon juice, so it's good to take these opportunities to learn. It's definitely runnier than the last batch I made, but I think it'll work for like this potato salad. Also, if you are a pro mayo maker, please do let me know what you think, Frankie, what I could have done better. Maybe this time next year I will be a pro mayo maker. I think we've got a double yoker here.
Nice.
Whee. Pretty yummy.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one. I've got Diogo wants to say goodbye too. If you're wondering where Iwan is, he's been working on an alternative project that we will share with you in a couple of weeks. And next week we're actually gonna do a Q&A, which we were promising since we hit 30,000 subscribers, and we're now on over 40, which is crazy. It's been oh, sausage. Frankie wants to say hi too. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of months for us, so thank you all for your wonderful support throughout 2023, throughout the last 3 years. Today is actually the birthday of our channel, and yeah, we just really want to say a big heartfelt thank you for following along, and I hope you'll stick with us for 2024 because I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. We've got lots of plans, and yeah, we're loving making videos, so thank you for watching them, and leave us your questions below and we'll answer them next week. I'll put up a community post as well, so you can leave them there too, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye.